Monkey Prince and his mentor Shifu Pigsy travel to Atlantis, where they believe a shard of the Monkey King's powerful Jingo Bong staff has fallen. Will this underwater adventure be a piece of cake, or Atlantis' terrifying lore seek to feast? Monkey Prince issue number 5 feels like a replay of the first issue. Again, it's a curious case of a new setting and characters, but a rehash of the same narrative. The premise is the issue's main negative point. Marcus and his family move into a new town where his scientist henchmen for hire parents take up a contract with a familiar DC villain. And from there, their efforts involve unleashing an ancient demon of unknown origin, yet one that is still tied to Asian culture. Meanwhile, Marcus struggles to fit into a new school when the supernatural catches up with him. Sound familiar, right? Well, because that's literally the first arc. Instead of it being Gotham, it's Amnesty Bay. Instead of Penguin, it's Black Manta. Changing locations and villains wouldn't be a problem if there was some significant change to Marcus's life story that made the repeat feel like it was accomplishing something worthwhile. However, it reads like the same story, just with a new coat of paint. The only difference is the greater awareness on Marcus's part, and by being in the capable hands of Yang, the structure of things is letting Marcus come to his own conclusions, and that says a lot about how Marcus reacts as a character. It's obvious that his development as the Monkey Prince is growing, and it's obvious that Yang is handling this character with care and respect, despite if the story premises that are the same. The issue also introduces a new female antagonist for the Monkey Prince, and while at first thought she looked like a modern take on Black Alice, the truth to her origin turns out to be significantly darker and much more horrific, tying the new foe to the darkest lore within Atlantean history, the Trench. The issue's highlights are undoubtedly the jaw-dropping panels blessed with the talents of artist Bernard Chang, colorist Marcelo Mayalo, and letters by Janice Chang. Chang's immensely detailed pencils and tight direction create a reading experience that is wickedly exciting to follow and easy for a reader to fall into, as his character animations are fluid. Chang's designs for characters, new and old, are highly intricate, and as the issue progresses, Chang creates a selection of monsters with ties to the Trench that have a sufficiently horrific sea monster feel, as the toothy maws and spiny claws are in full effect. As phenomenal as Bernard Chang's work is, it wouldn't be nearly as effective as it would without Marlowe's colors, since so much of what makes this visual experience so pleasing is the vibrant depiction of Amnesty Bay. It's pretty sexy, as well as the vivid high-fidelity palette for Chang's character design. Every panel leaps off the page thanks to Malao's work, and the lettering from Chiang is sharp and well-designed, with expressive fonts and effective SFX lettering that makes itself known but still stays out of the way from what's being depicted. Overall, this book is beautiful and it's fun to look at, and though the story feels like a replay of the first arc, it's still a solid issue because it's not a good start for a book that's quickly becoming one of DC's most fun and coming-of-age tales. However, the rehash of this issue and its premise of comparing it to Gotham City is very similar, and that can really kind of draw readers away. Monkey Prince issue number 5 gets a 7.5 out of 10. Our story picks up Marcus dreaming about his real dad, the Monkey King, and his adventures in ancient China. Suddenly, he wakes up at a gas station with his parents as they're en route to their new home in Amnesty Bay, following their debacle in Gotham. Now, Marcus narrates that ever since they left Gotham City, the only question that has been rolling around his head is whether or not Batman's suspicion was right about his parents working for the Penguin. However, he concludes that his parents are pretty much the exact opposite of hench people, and Batman's just some pointy-eared jerk who doesn't have parents. Ooh, shot taken. And like, what does he know about it? However, that's when Superman flies overhead, to which Marcus notices his parents are taking cover from the Man of Steel, whereas everyone else are looking up to the sky and are trying to take pictures and videos for their TikToks. Picking up later at Amnesty Bay High, Marcus once again goes for the first day at his newest school. Now, Marcus is pretty much tired of having to make new friends again. However, despite having promised himself to make an effort, Marcus backs out at the last minute, delaying it till tomorrow. Now, out of curiosity, Marcus asks the school custodian if a guy by the name of Mr. Zhu works there, but the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Suddenly, that's when a goth Harley Quinn wannabe approaches Marcus, offering him a banana because he looks like the type of guy who likes bananas, which is pretty weird. But basically Marcus walks away because obviously this girl's a freak. Meanwhile, Marcus's parents arrive at an old cannery district in Amnesty Bay, going down a manhole to reach the underground lair of their newest employer, David High, aka the archenemy of Aquaman, Black Manta, who initially hired him to upgrade his submarine, but having recently come into possession of an ancient artifact, it has presented a new opportunity. And so as he shows them a silver guard with a potential demon of immense power trapped inside, Black Manta wants them to release it for him. Now, though Winston is pretty much against the idea, Laura reminds her hubby about all the money that they can make from this. And with Black Manta unsheathing a hidden blade, he intimidatingly asks the couple if they are still willing to work together. And although the Shangs agree to it, they let Manta know that they'll do it on their terms, and what they'll need from him is a hermit crab. Elsewhere, walking alongside Amnesty Bay docks, Marcus dials the number for Kea, aka his biggest crush in Gotham City. And upon her picking up, she lets him know that although this helpline service is only for students from Gotham High, she can make an exception for him. Now, while the two get to talking, with Kayla asking about Marcus' new school, that's when Marcus comes across the goth girl, who appears to be stalking him as he walks by, causing Marcus to verbally express his discomfort, which Kayla catches on, and reluctantly, Marcus comes clean about the girl and how he thinks that she's a freak. And with this exciting Kea, and in order to help with his social anxiety, she convinces Marcus to go talk to her. And so Marcus approaches her, and he introduces himself, but the goth girl strongly comes on to him, telling him to take off his shirt, right there in the middle of the street. And much to his surprise and confusion on Marcus's part, he kind of takes it as a funny compliment, but she's not kidding. She's like being legitimately like weird. And so from there, after she keeps demanding that Marcus takes off his shirt, it creeps him out. And so he quickly tries to make his leave. But that's when the goth girl chases him down and rips off his shirt, revealing his body, or rather what she's more interested in, the Monkey Prince's circlet, which confirms her suspicion that Marcus is indeed the tasty Chinese monkey god. And from there, the goth girl reveals herself to have vicious toothy maws, and thus she begins to chase after her prey along the waterfront. And while Marcus is running for his life, Shifu Pigsy pulls up in a food truck, drifting in front of the goth girl in order to buy Marcus a moment or two as he transforms into the mother-flippin' Monkey Prince. And so with him fighting her at the docks, evading her advances to literally eat off his face, Monkey Prince gets a little cocky, which gives way for the goth girl to spear him into the ocean. However, the freezing water immediately reminds Marcus of his aquaphobia from the night Batman invaded his home, and so he gets a little bit of a panic attack, which reverts him back to his human form. From there, Shifu Pigsy fishes him out with the nine-toothed rake, reminding Marcus to let go of his fear. But before Marcus can even catch his breath, the goth girl leaps out of the ocean and takes him down. But it's right then and there where Shifu Pigsy throws him a present in order to help him fend off the goth girl, and it's revealed to be a battle staff that he stole off of Robin. But Shifu Pigsy lets him know that his true father was fond of big sticks, therefore Marcus must be a natural of using it, and so with it he knocks the goth girl off him. But with him transforming into the mother-flippin' Monkey Prince, he asks the goth girl as to what she is. You know, like, are you a vampire? A demon? A chupacabra? But despite his intentions of being a little bit more diplomatic, the goth girl tries her best to still kill him, prompting him to hit her with a devastating blow from the staff, knocking her from the dock and sending her sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Wanting to find out who sent the goth girl off to Marcus, Pixie orders Monkey Prince to follow her, but by being consumed by his aquaphobia, Marcus is unable to do so, prompting Pixie to remark that fate has brought Marcus to Amnesty Bay, all in an effort so he can conquer his fear of water. However, Marcus is unable to get over his fear, and he goes home. Picking up later in the depths of the Seven Seas, the goth girl reports the existence of Marcus's son's Monkey Prince to her father, the vicious king of the trench, who refers to her as Shellstria, his half-breed daughter, commending her for her good work, whilst letting her know that if the monkey god exists, then the old Chinese legends must be true, and that the trench can indeed obtain immortal power, and that all they need to do it is to eat. And that, folks, was the end of The Monkey Prince, issue number 5. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly means the world to me. And as always, I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 6? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace.